It was one of the happiest moments in my life. I was 22 years old, and I was expecting my first child. But sadly, the healthcare system in Puerto Rico sucks, especially if you're low income and have the government program La Reforma, the reform. I remember the maternity department. It was overcrowded. There were not enough doctors or nurses to assist the amount of patients, and it was dirty too. I remember the waste disposal was near my room. You could smell trash, blood, and all the unpleasant human body-related odors. In general, it was the worst hospital setting that you can imagine. After 24 hours of labor, I gave birth by C-section. She was perfect. Her head was covered in silky black hair. She was a beautiful and healthy baby girl. I named her Nathania, which means God's gift. I should have been overjoyed, but the day after I gave birth, I felt like someone was hitting my head with a hammer. This hammering was a side effect caused by the anesthesia. I also had postpartum hemorrhage, and I was anemic. I was not able to stand up, walk, or eat. I felt like I was about to die. When I asked one of the nurses about my headaches, she told me, "Ay, nena, se te trepó el mono." That means, girl, you have a monkey climbing on your back. That's what Puerto Rican calls a muscle spasm. At that point, her sarcasm and the monkey diagnosis was the last thing I wanted to hear. 3 days, After 3 weeks, I was talking to my sister, and I remember I told her, "Kayla, if I die, I want you to promise me that you will take care of my baby." And my sister told me, "Nena, you're crazy. Those painkillers are good. You'll be fine." And she left, so I wouldn't see her crying. While I was alone, a million thoughts popped into my head, like how hard it would be for my mother to lose her daughter. And I instantly began to regret giving birth, thinking what would happen to my child's life without me. I always heard about how many women died during childbirth, and under the circumstances that I was in, I truly believed that I was going to be one of them. After reflecting, I began to cry, and I was praying to God for my health. Then a lady entered the room. I think she heard me sobbing and asked me with a sweet voice, "What are you crying?" And I described to her how miserable I felt. I told her, "I've had this back headache for a long time. I haven't heard anything back from the doctors, and my baby went home without me." She listened to me and told me, "Don't worry, honey, you will be fine." The lady walked out of the room and came back with an injection. She asked me to turn on my side. She put the injection in, smiled at me, and left. I slept all night, no pain, and no headaches. The next day, I woke and I took a shower without help. The day after, I was able to get ready and go home to be with my baby. When I saw Natania, oh my God, I couldn't believe how much she grew in almost 3 weeks. It was a magical moment. I was grateful that I could be with my daughter and to overcome all the difficulties that I went through during my stay at the hospital. Besides all the bad things that happened during that almost 3 weeks, I was thankful that I had an amazing family that took care of my daughter and I was so lucky to meet that lady in the hospital who was the only person that advocated for me. Her kindness, her smile, and the peace she transmitted to me helped me recover fast and to understand that one person can make a difference. That's one of the reasons I became interested in the healthcare administration field, because I believe that kindness can cure anything. Each job in the healthcare administration, in the healthcare system, from the cleaning crew to the clinical staff and everyone in between, is essential and has an impact in the patient's experience. I don't know if you guys believe in angels and miracles, but I do. And the angel that entered my room when I was dying was a nurse.